Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, July 12th, and I'm your host, Krista McDonald. Through the sweltering heat, you could hear the fire engine sirens wailing down the street, followed by military units and antique cars. The annual 4th of July parade, as always, was a huge hit. Jack McCarthy manned the public announcements and kept people engaged as the parade rolled through Norwood Center. And of course, to end the parade on a high note, the Cycling Murrays held up the tail end of the parade. The parade wasn't the only celebration taking place on the 4th. Over 80 members of the community gathered at Old Parish Cemetery for the first annual 4th of July ceremony, which included a reading of Frederick Douglass's 1852. Over 40 members of the community volunteered to read excerpts of the story, which talked about what the 4th of July meant to slaves.
As we discovered within our cemetery here is a fellow abolitionist whom Frederick Douglass certainly knew. His name is Reverend Edwin Thompson, and he's interred here at the Old Parish Cemetery in Norwood. He and Frederick Douglass spoke in 1844 at an anti-slavery meeting held in Dedham. So that's how we know that they knew each other. So it's only appropriate that we recreated Douglass's speech here in Norwood in front of the grave of his fellow abolitionist, Reverend Edwin Thompson.
Just an hour later, the children of Norwood had their chance to parade down Washington Street as part of the annual doll carriage and bike parade. Over 100 children and their parents made their way down the center of town to the gazebo to show off their decorated bikes and carriages.
It started off at the church when they registered, and then they marched down Washington Street to play their voice. And then here we had several volunteers giving out church. So I think it was a great day, and I think everyone enjoyed it.
Stay tuned after this break for a special lunch program and for this week's Living Local.
Stop by the Norwood Morrill Memorial Library and check out magazines, newspapers, DVDs, and of course, books. The library also offers a variety of services, including passport renewal, a notary, and tutoring, with multiple different meeting rooms which can be booked for your convenience. Take advantage of online digital resources and get assistance with all of your research needs. Kids can enjoy the children's room stocked with books and toys. There are also a variety of programs for children and adults. And if you can't make it into the library can come to you with home delivery. The library is open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and on Fridays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. To learn more, go to www.norwoodlibrary.org.
Welcome back. Free lunch? Who wouldn't want that? If you are 18 years or younger, the Food Services Department is serving up free lunch at the Coakley all summer long. Eli Norris, Director of Food Service, tells us all about Summer Eats.
Hello, my name is Elijah Norris. I'm the Food Service Director here in Norwood. Today we're here to talk about Summer Eats, our exciting new summer meals program here at Norwood. We're going to be doing this program starting on July 1st, running all the way through August 16th. It'll run Monday through Friday from 10:30 to 12:30. Lunch will be free and available to all kids and teens who are 18 and under. Come on down and grab lunch.
What a great program. As the summer's high temperatures are upon us, there are many ways that people escape that heat. Common ways to get a refreshing beer at a local brewery. Let's learn all about one of Norwood's craft breweries on this week's Living Local.
I'm Anthony Pasalacqua. I'm the head brewer at Percival Brewing Company.
Percival Brewing Company is the culmination of owner Phil Oliveira's dream of having a brick-and-mortar brewery producing high-quality craft beers, focused on sharing his love of brewing with the local community. Head brewer Anthony Pasalacqua explains Percival's evolution to its current site at the Norwood Space Center.
Percival Brewing Company started in 2011. Originally, we were a contract brewery, but the owner, Phil Oliveira, had the dream that eventually he wanted to have his own brick-and-mortar building. I hooked up with him 2 years ago. In 2017, in October, we opened up, and with the mission of producing high-quality craft beers, locally produced, small scale, serving the immediate area and not looking to try and mass distribute across the state. We'd rather have people come in and have a more intimate experience with us so we can actually see our customers face to face versus reading random internet reviews from someone 20 miles away who never even met you or even got to experience this place.
Percival's Tap Room produces a variety of high-quality craft beers.
Right now we have currently 25 different beers that we have brewed. We have a couple staples that we keep on: Dodd Ale, which is a American Pale Ale, a little bit more on the classic side than the newer side, and we have Yob, which is an American Pilsner, which is very crisp, clean. Our take on a Pilsner, because why not? Yeah, you don't see enough of those. You see everything is IPA these days. We love IPAs and we put them out left and right, but we want to have a variety for our board. We don't want to just service one type of customer. We want to be able to touch all areas of craft beer.
All of the 25 plus beers served at the tap room are produced in-house at the brewery.
All production is done in-house. We're small scale. We only have a 3-barrel brew house, 2 7-barrel brew tanks, and a 3-barrel small fermenter. So we only have 3 fermenters going. Can only produce a limited amount of time. We're in the production plans right now to get basically 3 times production size of what we are right now, hopefully by the summer.
With limited prior knowledge of Norwood, Anthony has found a second home here in a community that has welcomed Percival with open arms.
We love Norwood. I'm from Billerica myself, and I had only heard of the Auto Mile on Norwood. I'd never actually been to Norwood myself. Been here, I love it. I love the town. I love the eateries, the people. It's great access to every major highway just around here real quick. You can get into Boston real quick, you can get to Rhode Island. I love the people, I love the town, I love the building. The people here at the Space Center are great. A lot of our customers actually come down on a Thursday, usually from the Space Center offices, so it's really nice to interact and see the same people every week.
Nothing pleases Passalaqua more than having customers leave Percival with a smile after enjoying the experience of a good craft beer and a small local brewery.
We love making people smile with the amount of satisfaction people can get from a good craft beer. We love especially new converts. So anyone that thinks, oh, I'm not really sure if I like beer, or if I do like beer and I've tried, we would love to just see you come in and try it. And if you like our beer, that's really what it's about right now. You know, it's about making people smile. It's about seeing that satisfaction on my end of a product that I made and being able to see people enjoy it. That makes me the happiest guy in the world.
If you want to learn more about Percival Brewery and stay up to date with all their happenings, please follow them on Facebook.
Stay tuned after this break to find out what is happening in your local government. Welcome back to Norwood News. As reported a few weeks ago, Spot Bagel is moving from its current location to a new location on Central Street. Well, the process continued at the planning board on Monday when the owner applied for a special permit for store signage.
The condition would be that all the tenants will comply with the
sign bylaw,
that
section 6.2.
the landlord will convey to all the tenants that they have to comply with the zoning bylaw.
Was there anything specific about the awnings on his buildings that you won't have any writing there?
So that was mentioned by...
Well, you wouldn't be able to because those would be signs and you'd have to come back again for those. So he couldn't put them there.
Right, okay.
Because that would be considered a sign.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Second. Anything else on the motion? Seeing none, we'll put it to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Good luck, Perry.
Thank you very much.
Following the Spot hearing, Power Lane Development presented a subdivision modification to the board. After a brief discussion, the plan for the modification passed. The next planning board meeting will be July 22nd. The majority of Monday's Finance Commission meeting was spent discussing municipal fund transfers. Town officials and department heads made requests to have municipal funds transferred in their accounts to cover the cost of many various items. After all the fund transfers were approved, the discussion shifted to the override. Management of the financial budget FY 2020 through 2024 on the town and school side was the focus of the conversation. The next Finance Commission meeting was yet to be scheduled. Under unfinished business during the Selectmen's meeting, Selectman David Hajar reported back to the board on the possible uses of Buckmaster Pond. He also provided the board with newly revised rules and regulations for the Dempsey Memorial Bandstand and updated cemetery fee schedule.
And our goal is really to make the cemetery operation as close to self-sustaining as possible. We didn't view sort of the operation of the cemetery with all love and care for the individuals that end up there as on the same need as like the Board of Health or the, other departments in town. And if you look at some of the information that's provided, you'll see that you folks, based on a review several years ago, were at 100% sustainability, and then we have dropped significantly because I don't think we've, as a team, kept up to date with what's going on.
Selectman Plasko did have some concerns over some of the language added to the rules and regulations for the bandstand.
So I think there's one or two things that you're actually proposing here, such as that smoking ban and maybe the recommendations from town council that we should consider. But I think they should be brought out cleanly as suggested amendments to the existing rules and regulations, rather than this whole basically convoluted new regulations.
All right, well, I'll be kind and say, I guess I'll take offense with convoluted. First of all, what's convoluted is that we have two documents that are given out today. One at the very top of that document says, check new rules and regulations later in the document. So.
Well, I don't know where that ever came from.
Oh, well, this is what people are given. So when we did reduce it from 11 down to 4 pages by trying to eliminate, and clearly based on some of the duplications that Alan, Mr. Howard has shown, we can reduce it even more. Now, we can go through it, but clearly there are 4 letters, different types of letters. I trust our administrative staff to know what letters need to go to whom. And as I said, there is duplication between the first set of rules and the second set of rules. This was meant to, let's just have one document, not 2 sets of documents.
We only have one document.
No, we don't. And
Yes.
that's not what's given. You can say that, Bill.
Then we have to correct our staff in the practice, but in the votes by this board, in accordance with our town bylaw, these are the regulations.
That's
period.
fine. There's no reason why a cleaned up version can't be submitted for the board to review.
Right, but
whether it's
this is not a clean up version.
whether it's new formatting or just an update of the existing, what difference does it make?
Chairman Bishop made some clarification regarding the matter of rules and regulations on that bandstand.
I think this is going to take a little more work, whether we have to look at it again over a period of time, but Article 37 of the Town Bylaws, Section 2, any proposed regulation for the use of the common shall be first read at a regularly scheduled meeting for the Board of Selectmen and may subsequently be voted on for adoption at a meeting of the board not less than 2 weeks or more than 4 weeks following the initial reading. So whatever happens, we can't do it tonight anyway, unless I'm reading that wrong.
The next Board of Selectmen meeting will be July 23rd at 7 p.m. Boston Skating Club was discussed at the Trails Advisory Committee as a possible place to gain access for trails. Committee member Lee Leach also discussed his visit to Peswick Park with Conservation Agent Al Getz and Scout Adam Green. You may remember that Adam visited the Trails Advisory Committee back in June to discuss a project he would be working on throughout the summer. The next Trails Subcommittee meeting will be Tuesday, July 23rd at 7 p.m. To watch complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government Channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break to find out what is happening in your schools.
Hi, I'm Chief Bill Brooks of the Norwood Police Department. The men and women of the Norwood PD are committed to protecting you and to providing you with top quality service. We're busy. Norwood is a nice town, but in any given 24-hour cycle, we handle anywhere from 65 to 90 radio calls and officer-initiated events. We patrol the town's 10 square miles, including over 100 miles of roadways. Our traffic enforcement focuses on places where crashes have occurred, neighborhoods where residents have reported chronic violations, and offenses that impact crashes like speed, texting, running stop signs and red lights, and failing to yield to pedestrians. When we're not tied up on calls, we work hard to build relationships with members of the community. So you'll see our officers out walking footbeats, checking in with merchants, and stopping at sporting events to chat with kids. We believe that every resident should know, or at least feel like they know, a member of our department. So if you see us, stop and say hello. We'd love to chat with you. On behalf of the men and women of the Norwood Police Department, it's our pleasure to serve you.
Welcome back. Over the summer, we will be showing you segments produced by NHS TV students during this past school year. This week's segment will take you into the NHS engineering classroom to learn about the students' capstone project.
Sophomore Jade Perry is part of the team of students who created a robotic vehicle in the Engineering 1 class.
So we're building a rover that will go down Nickel Street to the Cleveland and back up.
The rover is part of a capstone project where teams of students are tasked with figuring out the best way to design and build a roving vehicle that could be operated remotely on a planet like Mars.
A lot of the groups have similar tactics, but I feel like our group is trying to find different ways to execute different things.
And while each group will probably take their own unique approach, it's actually Perry's group itself that is a bit different.
I didn't really expect to be the only girl, but being around a bunch of guys, you'd think you'd be really separated, but like we're all like one, which is pretty cool.
Perry's the only female in the Engineering 1 class, and she's only one of 6 in the entire program. Engineering teacher Dr. Mike Crowley says women are underrepresented in the fields of engineering, and he hopes students understand that problem solving has no gender preference.
So all the students are given the same task, but they all have different solutions, which to me is like the best we can do in education, because they should be expressing themselves. It's really, what's great about it is it's a form of intellectual property, because it's their own ideas.
And while Crowley and Perry will tell you that the Mars Pathfinder rover project can challenge students' ability to be creative, they both agree that people shouldn't be afraid to take the class.
It's actually easier than you may think. Like there's so many like technical aspects to it, but once you do it once and you know what you're doing, you get in a role and you roll right through.
So one of the misconceptions that students have is like, oh, I could never do that. I don't have a creative side. I could never be a problem solver. But once they learn the content, they realize, oh my goodness, not only can I do this, I'm actually very good at it.
Right now, Perry and her team are putting the finishing touches on their vehicle. She says she's glad she's in the engineering class and she's enjoying the experience of working with her team.
It's pretty amazing. Like the dynamic of my group, like the 3 guys I work with, they're like my brothers now, like they're amazing. So
Perry's engineering team will be taking their rover to the street later this month to see if they measure up to the goals and objectives. Keep an eye out on school social media for pictures of the event. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Neo Gagano.
Hey everybody, Brian Young here for a quick update on summer ball activity in sports. The 11-year-old team tied for first in the district but lost out to Canton in the run differential category, and Canton is making their way through the rest of the tournament as a result. The 12-year-old division, coached by Bob Grenham, Vinny Elio, and varsity coach Kevin Igo, secured the number 3 seed in the district pool while also being the only team to beat Walpole this year. They stand at 8-1 and look to go after that district crown. In Babe Ruth news, the 15-year-old team, coached by John Lighty Lighthizer, Mike Dolliner Jr., and Pat Kavanaugh, are playing in the South State Tournament Finals this weekend against Braintree. Good luck to you guys this weekend. And that's it for me this week. Keep it here next week as we'll have coverage of the Senior Division League matchup between Norwood and Foxborough at the Bulk School this coming Monday night. Other than that, have a great rest of the week. Kristen, back to you.
Thanks, Brian. On Monday, Norwood Community Media kicked off its 15th year of their popular summer workshop, Lights, Camera, Summer. Lead teacher Brian Dunn explains what the students have been working on and learning this week.
So this year we kind of did things a little different from what we did last year. We tried to give the kids a little bit of choice. So they had a choice between doing a news package, a PSA, a sports highlight video, or a silent film. This week we had choices between silent films, sports highlights, and the news package. Everybody's doing a really good job. Kids are plugging away here. A lot of kids got done filming yesterday, so today is kind of just the editing process. We'll go into the studio later, get it all done together, and we'll do the premiere on Friday with all the parents, guardians, whoever. We'll come into the KSU lecture hall and do it.
My name is Patrick Moore, and I'm going to 7th grade. I did this week on LCS, I did a sports highlight video, and I learned that you could use audio from different clips and combine them together.
If you drive by the town common Wednesday or Sunday nights during the summer, you'll notice the concert being played on the gazebo. Summerfest, the Wednesday night concerts, and concerts on the common, the Sunday night concerts, are rocking all summer long. This week's shows are Dan Gable and the Abletones on the 14th and the Silver Spears on the 17th. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.